Day 2 of the 2024 NFL Draft is here, and after the Titans selected JC Latham in round 1, pick number 7, what will Carthon and Brian Callahan do today? On today's show here, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, including a Day 2 Titans mock draft. Yes, they do only have the one pick at number 38, but we're going to take that and mock it, along with draft targets and talking about who is available and who would be the best fit for the Tennessee Titans. Appreciate you joining us here on Titans Today. I am your host, Jace Andrews, and I will say we're going live on our main chat sports channel today around 5:30, 6:30 Eastern Time. Coverage of Day 2 in the 2023 NFL Draft. You're not going to find it at a better place, so come hang out with us. I'm going to be on there. We're going to have some great analysis of all the players getting drafted, and I'm telling you, you're not going to find better draft coverage than right there. We got a couple of guys who know ball better than me, so go check them out. I'm just there to help facilitate them, and hopefully they can give you some pretty good insight to some amazing players we'll see drafted today. And then obviously I'll have a video for you on the Titans draft pick at number 38 when that comes through. Let's talk about what the Titans need to do right now, because they filled that first draft need there of offensive tackle at JC Latham with number 7. They now have 6 picks left. Once again, they will have just one pick on Day 2. That is number 38. So they'll be picking early, and then in theory they could be done. Obviously, a trade is still 100% possible, and Brian Callahan and Carthon are no subject to making some bigger moves already here in the early parts of their Titans tenure, so I could definitely see that happening. The needs from now on, edge, defensive tackle, linebacker, and I do think wide receiver should honestly be in there as well. Probably edge, wide receiver, defensive tackle, linebacker would be the way I would put that, but we'd have to kind of wait and see what exactly Carthon thinks, because that's the opinion that matters. Let's first go over some targets that we could see being maybe looked at by the Tennessee Titans. I know that is something we have to look at first just because, well, if we don't know the targets, who the heck are we going to draft? I'm going to start with wide receiver just because, first of all, that's the fun position. And second of all, I do think it is a pretty good wide receiver draft. And if some of these wide receivers were to fall into your lap at 38, I think you got to take him because Troy Franklin at number 1 there for my picks, I like him a lot. I think he is a very good receiver for the Tennessee Titans and what they want in that wide receiver number 3. He's not going to be the deep threat, but you already have that in Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. He's not going to be the guy to go out there and make a big amount of plays because a 50-50 ball could use some work, but he is somebody who could fit in perfectly with the wide receiver 3 thing. Adonai Mitchell at number 2 there. I don't think he'll be available at pick number 38, and that's why I have him at number 2, not number 1, just because I want to be realistic here on who would be available. And I do like him at number 38, though, if he is there. It's just a matter of if. Keon Coleman, McConkey, and Roman Wilson are also good targets to see as well. But to me, if Franklin and Mitchell are off the board, I think you go edge rusher or defensive lineman. That's just my thought process. I don't think Keon Coleman, McConkey, and Roman Wilson are worth it for a second-round pick, especially an early one at that. Who do you want the Titans to pick at number 38? I want you to get in the comments and let me know. Is there somebody you have in mind? Is there somebody that you would not like them to pick? Or is there somebody you know that they're going to pick? Get down there in the comment section and let me know by typing down his name. I like to talk with Titans fans, so get down there and let me know. Let's talk about Day 2 defensive tackle draft targets. Because like I said, the defensive line is somewhere that could use some help. Let's start with defensive tackle. We'll get to edge here in a moment. But jer'zhan Newton is somebody that I just feel like you can't miss out on. And he has a shot to be there at pick number 38. Newton is a first-round draft grade in my mind. And he is here in round 2. Get him if he is there at 38. Same can be said for Braden Fisk. I think he is a round 2 guy. However, his testing at the combine was impeccable. I loved what I saw from him, and I do think that his speed at the defensive tackle position is something that would be used perfectly with the Tennessee Titans. You have Simmons, and you have Sebastian Joseph Day. You get a guy on the interior as well that has speed. I like that a lot. Fisk can easily move around a lot of tackles. Impressed me a lot. And then from there, Chris Jenkins is somebody that I could see being a pretty good fit. Again, I think past 1 and 2, I think you maybe go a different way with your pick. But Jenkins, if, say, the nightmare scenario happens, if you don't have anybody you want, heck, maybe trade back and you get Chris Jenkins. Or just get him like you did with JC Latham, I guess. Brennan Dorless and then Rook Orohoro are also really good options. Once again, though, I think those are more late second round, early third. So in that way, maybe a trade into the third round would be more likely if you want them. But we would have to see for that. We are going to keep you covered on who they draft, though. At pick number 38, we'll have a video out for that, along with some coverage throughout the entire night of what's going on. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, because guess what? Today you're getting 3 videos. You're getting a video right now on my top targets, along with the mock draft at the end of this video. You're going to get a video for the pick, and you're going to get a grades video on the Tennessee Titans later tonight. So, yeah, lots of content being pumped out here on Titans today, so hit that subscribe button. Let's talk edge rushers. This is one that I really would like to see the Titans go after if Troy Franklin and A.D. Mitchell are not there. Keyword, if they are not there. Adisa Isaac is one that I have seen being mocked to the Tennessee Titans for multiple weeks now, and especially with him being available here in the second round, and it's seeming like he'll be there at 38, is another one that I could really see them going out and taking. I think he is the perfect fit at number 38 if Franklin and AD are there. Again, I really just value wide receivers a lot right now, just because I think that's going to make the team better overall as a whole. However, if Franklin and AD, which is very likely, by the way, to be picked, I think you get Adisa Isaac. I think he's a great pick there at number 38, and you kind of help your trenches on both sides of the ball. On the defensive side with Adisa Isaac on the edge, and you also got JC Latham in the first round. Jonah Ellis from Utah, also a really good option, really speedy type edge rusher. Not the bigger body, but he's pretty lengthy in his arms, so I think he would fit well. Chris Braswell from Bama, more later second round. Marshawn Nealon, I think either of the Braswell, Nealon, or Thomas you could trade back. I know the Titans didn't do that yesterday, though, so I obviously know it's hard and it takes 2 to tango in that facet, but usually in round 2 you could probably make a team budge maybe a little bit easier than you would be able to on day 1. Pretty good options throughout the board there on the edge rushers. You know, it's also a good option, Game Time. You can get $20 off your first purchase by using code CHATSPORTS, the redeem code section, after you download the Game Time app. This is the place for all your needs. If it's sports, if it's music, if it's comedy, theater events, they have you covered with every single ticketing event. And I'm obviously showing you the Reds are still playing. They've got their playoff game. And guess what? They're going to be playing against the Canucks tonight. You can go check them out. You can also make sure you get your tickets for Game 4. It's going to be fun to watch the NHL playoffs. It's obviously a pretty cheap event for a playoff game. So, again, $20 off your first purchase by using the code CHATSPORTS. Best thing about Game Time, they got last-minute ticket deals, flash deals, and zone deals. So, therefore, guess what? You're going to be able to make sure that you are getting the best price guaranteed. They're going to be able to help you with that with zone deals. That'll get you an average of 18% savings. Plus, they have ticket deals up until the start of the event and even an hour into it as well. So, last-minute ticket deals you're not going to find at a better place. Do yourself a favor, download the Game Time app and create an account using code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Once again, download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time is the best place you'll get for last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. All right, let's look at some other draft targets. I don't have a position in mind, but I do want to talk about linebacker. I think center maybe is a little bit of an interesting pick there with Zach Frazier, but he's the best interior offensive lineman available right now in my mind. You could obviously move him to offensive guard pretty simply. Doesn't have to snap the ball anymore, so pretty good for him. And then cornerback, just because I know that the cornerback room is great, but I want to throw them in there because, again, depth-wise, it'd be great to have. If you're going to go with one of these guys, I think you go Peyton Wilson. Linebacker is one that I really like out of NC State. He fits the bill for what the Titans like to have in their linebacker core, especially on the interior linebackers. Reminds me a lot of Jack Gibbons, who they did re-sign. Could have like a combo pair there, somebody who could come in the depth role. Frazier, again, I know he's a center, and Lloyd Cushenberry will be the center, but it's not that hard for him to switch over to guard. Be pretty simple. Sinistro, Rakestraw Jr., and TJ Tampa are the top quarterbacks that I see available on the board. I don't mind getting one of them today just to have the depth role, but I think the cornerback room is honestly pretty filled out. Again, this is just kind of like worst case scenario. What would the Titans do? These are some of the best guys available, not really related to the Titans' needs fully. If you're excited for the rest of the draft, rounds 2 and 3 tonight, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 all tomorrow, well, then hit that like button, because once again, we're going to have coverage throughout the entirety of this draft season. So, guess what? You want to hit that like button, help us out. I really appreciate it. It's mock draft time. It's the last part of this video, and I know it's one pick, but we'll call it a mock anyway. And so it's the first guy I told you about that I want, jer'zhan Newton. I love the way he played at Illinois, and Johnny, and as they call him, I really do think he is the perfect fit for the Tennessee Titans, just because you think about this defensive line. You see that there's some struggles besides Jeffrey Simmons. Newton fills the defensive interior up really, really nicely. Plus, I think he was a first-round guy that he's now in the second round. 52 tackles last year, 8.5 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks at Illinois at a Big Ten university. I'll take that a lot. 43 pressures as well is great, and 1 forced fumble. His pressures are really where he strives on. Even back in 2022, 59 pressures. Good grief. This guy was in the backfield all afternoon long, more than the running back, it felt like. He did improve his sack numbers. Obviously, pressures is great, making the quarterback move, but got to finish the job. He did a little better in 2023, getting 7.5 sacks on just 43 pressures instead of 5.5 sacks on 59 pressures. But he did improve his sack numbers every single year. If you've watched this show for the past couple of months, you know that I like to see the numbers being improved each year because that means you're hopefully going to be able to do that in the NFL as well throughout your years in the NFL. This depth chart is just a little scary to me because I like Simmons. Sebastian Joseph Day is not a bad thing. I think he honestly had some decent moments with the Chargers last year before being with the Niners in the last bit of the season. Keon Coleman, though, is just not it. He's a practice squad guy at best. You need a defensive interior lineman, and jer'zhan Newton is exactly that guy. I don't know how we'll do with this whole 3-down lineman set for linebacker, if that's going to stay with Denard Wilson, if he's going to change that to a 4-down lineman, 3 linebacker set. I would have to assume it will stay. I know he's kind of mentioned it's probably going to stay that way, but haven't gotten official word yet and can't really know for sure until we see training camp and all that stuff. But again, Newton would fit in perfectly here. He could have been a first-round pick. He could have been, easily. But now he's in the second round, and with the needs of the teams above the Tennessee Titans, it kind of fits that they could have him there at pick number 38. Do I see him being there? I think he could be. I think it's an option. I don't know for sure. Obviously, he's a top prized guy here in early round 2, but I think you could go with a defensive lineman. You could also go wide receiver. That is an option, and I know that maybe that's maybe not the best choice just because defensive lineman is something you could go, but I'm not going to be too upset if they pick a Troy Franklin or an Adonai Mitchell. I would not be having too much of a fit with that because that would be kind of pretty cool. Will the Titans make a trade tonight, though? Is that something that you could see happening? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Do you see Ryan Carthon making a move today after he had the opportunity to potentially look one yesterday? Again, takes 2 to tango, but didn't work out. Do you think he does one tonight? Y for yes, in for no. Make sure you subscribe here on Titans Today. We're going to have videos out all throughout the day on the latest of your draft coverage. The 2024 NFL Draft and Titans go hand in hand right here on Titans Today. So hit that subscribe button. And for now, Titans fans, tighten up and peace out.